It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Ladson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Showtime! What's happening, everybody? It's Wednesday, halfway to the weekend. My name is Geno. I guess you kind of figured that out, right? You can see the sign. It's like, yo, G, we can read, we can see. The Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So please subscribe to my channel. You and everybody that you know, don't know, that you like, love, can't stand, hate, strangers, aliens, it doesn't matter. Holla at your boy and tell him to subscribe to my channel. Please share and like this and every episode. The Geno Jones Show brought to you today by the 2022 Charleston Black Expo. Saturday, March 12th at the Charleston Area Convention Center. It's going to be a full day of educational seminars, and you got celebrities, you got vendors shopping. As a matter of fact, speaking of speakers, we got like speakers, and celebrity speakers. This year, our keynote celebrity speaker is going to be my man Anthony Anderson from Blackish. Also, it's going to be part of we have like a gospel event going on with gospel legend Kiera Sheard that's going to be there. And if you like R&B, Southern Soul, swing out music, want to get your party on with my man Roy Chip Anthony and Sheldon Richardson, that's going to be happening like an R&B, Southern Soul, and swing music day party. All that happening Saturday, March 12th at the Charleston Area Convention Center, about a mile from the airport, blackexposouth.com. And Friday night, the night before, kicking off Black Expo weekend, the Taste of Black Charleston. You just saw that message for that. Let's jump right into the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about President Biden had his State of the Union address. Oh, by the way, feel free to jump in the chat room. If you got a question, we're doing Ask Geno today. I really do it every day. But today we're kicking off Ask Geno, so if you've got a question about whatever, just jump in the chat room. Like my man, the Big Picture Podcast, tuning in. I appreciate it. It's a live chat room is open live when I'm live on camera. So President Biden gave the State of the Union address last night. Man, he had a hard job. Because all of a sudden, here we are. You could say, many people are saying the beginning stages, I hope I'm wrong, of World War III. So you got little crazy ass, little short, little sawed off ass mini-me madman Vladimir Putin. He is on some just like megalomaniac dictator. I want to rule the world. What was the dude in Austin Powers? Yeah, that little crazy dude. Yeah, him. That's what he reminds me of. Him, that it's not funny. But you got to laugh sometimes to keep from crying. So President Biden had to address this whole situation. Some people are, hey, let's go ahead and form a no-fly zone. Basically, a no-fly zone means that your Air Force, your fighter jets have to patrol an area like Ukraine, which is a sovereign nation. So, I mean, we want our fighter jets to fly over Ukraine with they call NATO. It's like 29 countries in this organization called NATO. And they formed that way back at the end of the 40s, right around 1950, basically to, in case like a dude like Hitler popped up all over again, that those NATO countries would get together. They would combine their armies, their militaries, Army, Air Force, Marines, the whole 9 yards, their joint militaries to defeat another madman. Or, it could be a mad woman one day. But it's usually mad men. So I'm just saying. So here we are in 2022. Vladimir Putin has invaded Ukraine, bombing cities. 6,000. So far, the the most official numbers I've heard, like 6,000 civilians. 6,000 civilians. Not those in the military, not soldiers. 6,000 civilians have been murdered by Russia and Putin's madness. So he had to deal with that. And then talk about COVID. We've come a long way. Over 200 million shots in arms. Really more than that. Over 200 million Americans vaccinated. So that's over, 400 million shots, because you got 2 arms. You get 2 shots. So he's got a lot to deal with, and still the legislation that he did not get passed. Oh, did you notice Senator Joe Manchin hanging out with his boys, sitting over there with the Republicans? He was like the only Democrat. He was just over there chilling, like, I'm at home. But we're going to get into that in just a moment. So it was a speech where he really had to rally, and his goal is still he's got to try to unite the country and all of the country. Now, I know there are a significant number of black folks are saying, well, he didn't say the word black. He didn't say black people. And I get it, you all. And, a lot of folks kind of got upset when he said, we need to fund the police. And I get it. But I understand politics. Now, yes, black folks are the reason President Biden is President Biden, and I get it. So, but this is a speech where he had to address, he really had to kind of give this, let me bring everybody, all Americans together. Trying to save this democracy and leading the world, because for better or for worse, the United States is the leader of the free world, especially the president, outside of that asshole that was, before President Biden, that fool. So it was a really hard job to do, but let me just do this. So today's monologue, really, in today's show, because I don't have a guest, it's just gonna be today's monologue. So the midterm elections are gonna be in November. As a matter of fact, you've already had a primary. Texas had their primary where they decided who was gonna run, like in Texas, Beto O'Rourke is running to be the governor, Democrat. As a matter of fact, he ran for president in 2020. He was part of that field with Cory Booker and Kamala Harris. Remember, she was running for president. And wound up President Biden, he appointed her or selected her as his running mate against another crazy ass, the current governor, Greg asshole, as I call him, Greg Abbott, running for re-election. So we need to talk about this. So, to save this democracy, I'm just going to cut through the chase and give it to you straight. Put it right here where even a little baby can grab it, get it. Man, listen, to save this democracy, we got to turn out in record numbers. That's just real talk. Now, yes, President Biden, you need to make sure that you are constantly talking to everybody, but specifically, black people, brown people, your base, you need to let them know that you have not forgot about them. Now, he kind of glossed through a lot, some of the most important things in terms of, yes, he talked about we got to protect voting rights. But man, you got to sing that song. You got to put that song on loop. Now, but we also need to understand there's only so much that he can do. Now, some folks, well, you need to be like Lyndon Baines, LBJ, Lyndon Johnson, and Joe Manchin showed you last night. He's like, listen, I ain't listening. So here he is. He's a Democrat. The president of the United States is a Democrat. So the leader of your party is the president. Because if you think about it, because some people say, well, he's just showing bipartisanship, that he can get along with everybody. To me, what he was showing, he was basically showing President Biden his ass to kiss. Now, you can't make me do anything. As a matter of fact, I'm over here with the Republicans because I'm about to become a Republican. And I've been telling you all that for a while. Him and Kristen Sinema. I've been saying it over and over and over. I wouldn't be surprised if before November, Mr. Manchin hosts a news conference and says, because Democrats, and I just don't agree with their policies. And, so I have to join the Republican Party. He in essence did it last night. Physically, without announcing it, he did it. So here's the deal. How do we save democracy? How do we help President Biden and put pressure on President Biden to save this democracy? We got to turn out in record numbers to vote in the midterm elections in November. Now remember, I was talking about you got close to 7, so let's count them. In Florida, in the Congress, so you got U.S. Representative Val Demings, who was on the short list to be vice president before Kamala Harris was selected by President Joe Biden. Val Demings, dynamite, bad sister, sharp, running to be the U.S. As a matter of fact, she's going to beat Marco Rubio with his little trick ass. So you got Val Demings that's running to be a U.S. Senator in Florida. Here in South Carolina, you've seen she's been a guest on my show. State Representative Crystal Matthews is running to beat Tim Scott. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because they look like you don't mean they love you. That's right. So, State Representative Crystal Matthews running to be U.S. Senator, knocking out Tim Scott here in South Carolina. Sherry Beasley and Miss Beasley, or Mrs., I don't know if she's married or not. I apologize. I can remember. I kind of didn't remember. Really didn't remember her name. I was close. She is a former North Carolina State Supreme Court judge. Sherry Beasley is running to be, this guy Richard Burr is retiring. So Sherry Beasley is running to be a U.S. Senator in North Carolina. It's 3, so we got 3. Val Demings, Crystal Matthews, Sherry Beasley. Malcolm Kenyatta in Pennsylvania, running to be a U.S. Senator. That's 4. Mandela Barnes, running to be U.S. Senator. Get rid of that dumbass Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. That's 5. Charles Booker in Kentucky is running to run Rand Paul's ass up out of there. So that is 5. Val Demings, Crystal Matthews, Sherry Beasley, Malcolm Kenyatta, Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. Charles Booker in Kentucky. Because he's running to get Rand Paul out of there. That's 6. And in Louisiana, Gary Chambers Jr. running to be a U.S. Senator in the state of Louisiana. That is 7, y'all. 7. Can you imagine if we collectively got it together and elected 7 black people, men and women, to be in the U.S. Senate? Oh my God. The MAGA crowd, the MAGA madness, man, their heads would explode. But you know what that would do? That would help President Biden save this democracy. He could pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, the Freedom to Vote Act he could pass. He could pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. And they could put pressure on him if he was dragging his feet, even if Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema became Republicans. Because he would still have, 54? So, yeah, so we lose 2, 7, 5. He would still be up by 5. And then the vice president would be 6. So he would have more than enough. 55 Democratic, and those that vote with the Democrats, like Angus King and of course, Bernie Sanders. He'd have 55 votes. The vice president, 56. Everything, the child tax credit that stopped in January, they would be permanent. Every month, you would get that money. Families. 1 million black children were taken out of poverty with the child tax credits. $6 billion. 5.8, so I'm rounding it off. $6 billion in 2021 went to HBCUs. So think about it. Everything that President Biden can't do, because he's not a king, things where he needs Congress. Just think, universal pre-K and expanded Medicare and Medicaid. That would help everybody. That's the weird. It's not even weird because I talked about it. You have more poor white people in America than you do black folks. Child tax credits. It took 1 million, black children out of poverty, but it took even more white children out of poverty. Hispanic children, Native American, Asian American. And that's the thing. That poor white people are stuck thinking that a dude like, well, Donald Trump is going to get into office and he's going to go ahead and he's going to represent me. He's going to do something for me. He ain't going to do shit for you because he don't give a damn about you because you are poor. I've said it before. The majority, listen, and I'm speaking in general terms, which normally you shouldn't. But do you know the majority of wealthy white people, especially the ones like Orange Hitler, they despise poor white people. What do they say about people in the military? They're losers because they're not making any money. They're not getting paid. The majority of people in the military are white. You have a significant number of people, black and Hispanic, but still. So think about what he said. Just for poor and working class white people that join the military, that you're losers. He don't give a ish about you. Wealthy white people like that think less of poor white people than they do about black people. They know the system, it was designed and rigged, set up, codified in law to be racist, to be anti-black. The Constitution, the original drafts, black people, Africans were 3/5 human. And I want to hear about this political compromise. On paper, your most important political legal document said a group of people were not full humans. Full stop. Stop talking. You don't have to say anything else. It tells me exactly what you think about me. And I keep saying it, but this whole made up con game, because this is a con, made up system structure, this construct, this whole concept of race was made up in the 1680s, once again, for a small handful of people could maintain economic, political, social control. But they had to pit. It even happened here. What is it? Bacon's Rebellion. Just Google that. You have like indentured servants, which were poor white people who were like working on this land that was owned by wealthy white people. They were damn near in slavery, but they weren't. They were like a half a step up, and then the Africans came. But then the indentured servants, poor whites, and the enslaved Africans was like, hey, wait a minute, hold on. We need to hook up because dude doing both of us wrong. Bacon's Rebellion, Google it. And that's the fear. It's always been the fear. Dr. King talked about it extensively before he was assassinated. Fred Hampton had already linked up with poor white folks and poor working class. They called back in the 60s, late 60s, Chicanos. Talk about Mexicans. That's always been the fear for those small elite group of white men, for the most part, with money and power in America, that exploit poor white people, poor black people, and keep this whole fuel. They'll tell these poor white, the reason that you're in the situation that you're in is because of immigration, because those brown people, those Mexicans, they're coming to America across the southern border, and they're coming to take your job. And they're working jobs that they ain't no Americans. White, black, ain't nobody trying to do them jobs. Working out in those fields, fruits and vegetable fields out in California, in the heat and under inhuman conditions. Ain't no Americans lining up for them jobs. They can't give those jobs to Americans. So the whole hypocrisy at the end of the day is always follow the money. But now, this whole fear of, whites are being replaced. This anti-blackness and this global, white nationalist move. And Putin's at the head of the class. Just look at Russia. Putin is right there, public enemy, white nationalist #1. Ideology is rearing its head in Europe, Italy, Germany. Oh yeah, you've got your groups of white nationalists globally. There's the white race it's going to be extinct, and we've got to do something. We got to get rid of these dark people. It's real. The whole, they call it autocracy. So when you hear the word autocracy, that's just a dictator. I'm gonna make it easy for you. He's an autocrat. What does that mean? He just wants to be a big dictator. See Putin. Oh, China. Basically, it's a more civilized dictatorship. President Xi, president for life. Anytime somebody can get in and say, you know what? Y'all need to pass a law so I can be the president for life. Wait a minute. Who else said something they'd like to be president for life? Yeah, that fool, Orange Hitler. No, nobody should be president for life. Nobody. 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 That's dangerous. So you've got these countries, Venezuela, and you've got Hungary, Turkey, where you've got all these, they call them autocrats, these dictators. And Vladimir Putin is at the head of the class. And Orange Hitler wanted to be a dictator. Well, you won't have a democracy. Got this one dude, we're going to do it my way, my view of the world. And majority of these countries that have autocrats or dictators are very anti-black. Anti-black, anti-Jewish, anti-black, anti-Jew, anti-gay, lesbian, anti-trans, anti-brown, Hispanic, the ones that ain't passing for white that look white. No, y'all need to understand, please. What's happening in Ukraine could happen here. Because when you lose your democracy and a dictator steps in, that's when really ugly things happen. And it's happened on the continent of Africa. So evil and megalomaniacs and this idea of wanting to rule and dictate and, well, you're in the wrong tribe, or you're in the wrong race, or you pray to the wrong God. I just don't like you. I think I'm superior, and we want to get rid of you because we want to have this dominant, superior, pure race. That was Hitler's thing. And that's what white nationalism is all about. That the white race is the right race. We're smarter, and we're this and that and that. We need the exact opposite. But how do we save this democracy? By turning out in record numbers to vote. We got 7 black people. 1, 2, 3 black women. U.S. Rep. Val Demings out of Florida. State Representative, South Carolina State Representative Crystal Matthews here in South Carolina, running for governor. Former North Carolina Supreme Court Judge Sherry Beasley in North Carolina. 3 women. Got Malcolm Kenyatta in Pennsylvania, Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin, Charles Booker in Kentucky, Gary Chambers Jr. in Louisiana. 4 men, 7 black people could be in the U.S. Senate. Wouldn't have to worry about George Floyd Justice and Policing Act would be passed. Freedom to Vote Act would be passed. John Lewis Voting Rights Act bill would be passed. Universal pre-K passed. Child tax credit, $250 to $300 per child every month. You would still be getting those checks on the 15th. All that money would still be hitting your bank account on the 15th, directly deposited. All the things that a lot of people complaining and saying, well, you know, he didn't do, President Biden didn't mention black folks' name, and I get it. And this whole thing about policing. Because if you really, since we're going to go there, let's have that conversation about policing. You got 18,000 police departments, and they're not controlled by the federal government. Now, the United States Department of Justice, they can monitor local police departments. But President Biden doesn't have control over local police departments. So if you really, yeah, we do need federal laws to back it up. Absolutely, and we need the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which President Biden fought for, did all he could. But then when you got somebody that's supposed to be on your team and they sitting in the other team's dugout or the other team's bench, just imagine LeBron playing for the Lakers, but he's sitting on the Warriors bench. Dude, what? What are we doing? Just that's why I wanted to frame it and put it like that so you could understand. Ladies, your husband, y'all ain't separated. You married, supposedly happily married, but your husband living in a house with some other woman, or vice versa, fella. Your wife living in a house with another dude. But y'all not separated, supposedly happily married, but every night she sleeping in somebody else, this other dude's bed in his house. What are we doing here? Where did he do that at? In essence, when you saw Joe Manchin over there sitting all night with the Republicans, he was bold about it. Smiling, looking happy, just keep cheesing. Hey, y'all, I'm getting ready to come over here with y'all. You know, I ain't crazy about that Joe Biden. You know, them Negroes and them Jews and them gays and lesbians and trans. I'm about sick of them and them, you know, the Hispanics. I'm just, I can imagine that was the conversation. I didn't hear the audio, but I wouldn't be surprised. May not have been that direct. So listen, at the end of the day, politicians can only do so much. I'm gonna close the monologue in the show. President Biden, when he first got elected, one of the things that he said, because you know, a lot of folks, you know, President Obama didn't do anything for black folks, which is bullshit. Go back, one of my episodes last week, I just went down, there's so much, but I just kind of went down a little laundry list of all the things that President Obama and his administration did, and I ain't on nobody's payroll. I'm just keeping it 1,000. But you got to understand this. President Obama was educating folks when he said, you got to make me do it. What he's really saying is, you got to give me the wind beneath my wings. And I need you to turn out in the midterms, which we didn't. And that's how we got the Tea Party, which really was the prelude to this whole MAGA madness. Sarah Palin is the original Donald Trump. She was like Donald Trump in drag. Just go back and listen and watch some of Sarah Palin's speeches when she was on the ticket with John McCain, to the point to where it caused friction. They was like, yo, you got to tone this. Whoa, hold on. She called it going rogue. She was like, the hell with John McCain. I'm Sarah Palin, and I'm with you. I hate these Negroes. No, I wasn't gonna say it. Not on camera. No. That was the mentality. Listen, you could go back and look at video of some of Sarah Palin's speeches at some of those rallies, and then look at Orange Hitler's speeches at some of their rallies, and you would think they were reading the same script. I guarantee you. I challenge you. Just go back. Go back and look at some of the video, Sarah Palin's speeches when she was campaigning. Because she wasn't with John McCain. She would really, that's when she went rogue. When she was with him, she'd be kind of, she'd chill. But man, when she got out there on her own, she just let the races fly. She just let the races rip. Oh, she was like, oh yeah, So, Sarah Palin was Orange Hitler, Trump, and drag. All right, so that, just seeing a black man in the White House, then all the white supremacists, the racists, the white nationalists, their head exploded. Oh my God, no, I can't live in a country where one of those N-words, he's not my leader, an inferior Negro. That's what, come on, y'all. And the sad part and the ignorance is, like I said, a lot of these folks, a lot of them, poor, working class, no health care, some no teeth in their mouth, drug addiction, dealing with crystal meth and opioid addiction, dealing with poverty, and continuing to support a party and a person in power who really hates you, has complete contempt and disdain for your existence because he feels you are defective. Because how can you be a white person and be poor? And why would you want to join the military? The military is for losers because you can't make any money. These are not my words. They were his words. And you can find the video. So my white brothers and sisters, I keep telling you, this whole concept, this race thing is a con, and it's been used against you, all of us, but it's been used against you. So economically, you could continue to be oppressed. And a small handful of people could be in a club and keep you out. So you still struggling. You can't get decent wages and get a good raise and have good schools. Why? You still living in poverty and blaming it on black folks or brown folks or Jewish people or gay, lesbian, transgender, or women. Come on. I'm out of here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, God. Most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And if you're chilling out there in Maui and Hawaii, 1:30 p.m. And who knows, if you're over in Russia, let's see, 8 hours. So let's see here. So 6:30, well, it'll be 2:30 in the morning. So check your man out there. All right. Please, you and everybody you know and don't know, everybody you like, love, can't stand, hate, subscribe to the Geno Jones channel on YouTube. Tell everybody you know and don't know. Everybody, subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Check out the Geno Jones Show. It is must-see TV. Please subscribe, share, and like, or subscribe, like, and share each and every episode of the Geno Jones Show, brought to you by the 2022 Charleston, South Carolina Black Expo, happening Saturday, March 12th at the Charleston Area Convention Center. It is a full day of educational seminars and exhibits and speakers and celebrity speakers and day parties, everything. Anthony Anderson, the keynote guest celebrity speaker, also hanging out in our gospel music section, and our booth is going to be gospel icon Kiera Sheard, and we got the R&B Southern Soul Swing Music Day Party with Roy Chip Anthony and Sheldon Richardson. BlackExpoSouth.com, and kicking the Black Expo weekend off here in Charleston, South Carolina. The Metro will be the taste of Black Charleston, the event of the year. As a matter of fact, in less than 60 seconds, you'll see a nice little message. You'll get to see what the taste of Black Charleston is all about. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Shout out to the Big Picture Podcast, my dog, Holla at your man. We got to talk. Big Picture Podcast. The Geno Jones Show, the interstate, the I-26, the Geno Jones I-26 party tour coming to a city near you. If you in South Carolina. Heck, we can bring it to your state too. Just let us know. So, Big Picture Podcast, holla at your man. Mother, I love you more than life itself. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for watching. One more thing before I get out of here. As always, I always like to say, be blessed. Next live edition, Thursday, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here, The Geno Jones Show, live on YouTube.
It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Ladson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.